Austin Aries out and Alberto El Patron back in? Welcome back to the ACB Wrestling Talk channel, your main source for wrestling news, topics, discussion, previews, all that kind of good stuff. I am your host, Alexis Carrillo, and we are still pretty much dealing with all of the fallout from the Impact Bound for Glory 2018 pay-per-view that took place this past Sunday. Now, if you recall, Johnny Impact became the brand new Impact World Champion. He hit the Starship Pain on Austin Aries, pinned him, after which Austin Aries appeared to no-sell the move. He pretty much got up like 1 or 2 or 3 seconds after the bell rang. He got up, he motioned to somebody upstairs in the arena, in the venue. Everybody's speculating that it was Don Callis, who is also the Executive Vice President of Impact Wrestling. Austin Aries apparently had some words to say to him right at that moment. He then exited the venue, not before he flipped off the fans, and a lot of people started speculating over Austin Aries no-selling the move and whether that would have repercussions in terms of his Impact Wrestling contract. Well, according to P.D. Williams, who appeared on the Wrestling Perspective podcast, P.D. Williams stated that Austin Aries, as of this moment, as of right now, has no contract with Impact Wrestling. His dates are up. His final date that he had to commit to was Bound for Glory 2018. That's done. Therefore, Austin Aries is no longer a part of Impact Wrestling. A few things that really come to light with this. First of all, we all knew, ever since he came back, that Austin Aries was working on a per-date deal, on a per-appearance deal. Or maybe I might not be saying that correctly, but as far as I know, as far as my understanding is that he had a certain number of dates he was working with the company. Now, according to Peter Williams, his dates are up. His contract with Impact is up, which is why he left. Number 2, it does, give me a sense of panic, a sense of alarm that they booked Austin Aries' final date to be the main event of their biggest show of the year. And it's not the first time they've done it. They've done this multiple times in the past. I think the last time that I recall was that they actually put the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, back then TNA World Championship, on AJ Styles in San Diego, Bound for Glory 2013, with him defeating Bully Ray, when AJ Styles didn't have a long-term contract with the company. So if this all remains to be true, it's kind of alarming that Impact has a history of putting their main championships on wrestlers and performers that aren't committed long-term to the company. That's panic and alarm to me. Number 2, this could all be a work. As of right now, we do not know if this is a work. Are they working us with Austin Aries leaving Impact and Bound for Glory, pretty pissed off and no-selling and disrespecting Johnny Impact and the main event of the biggest show of the year? They could be, this entire thing could be a work, and they're just trying to play it off as real, which at this point, if you follow social media, if you have a sense of how Impact Wrestling fans are reacting, then they are succeeding on that part, because a lot of fans are buying into it, of which I kind of buy into it, but I'm still a little bit doubtful, knowing that this could be a work. In an era where kayfabe is practically dead or close to dead, you really need something so real and something to not have any kind of plot holes in terms of how real it is to play out. And they're achieving it with Austin Aries having this kind of of leave of the company, controversial as it was, and now all these reports that he is no longer with the company. Would I want him to stay? Of course, he's a talent. He is one hell of a talent. He's been the face of the company at least this entire year, 2018. It's been all about Austin Aries, so it pains me to see him go, because it pains me to see a company that I love, like Impact Wrestling, put all of its eggs on the Austin Aries basket, and then to see him leave. I don't like that. I didn't want to see that. It happened. Move on. There's a lot of fans that have taken the Alberto El Patron rule, or Alberto El Patron treatment to him, and, since they believe what happened is actually something that Austin Aries disrespected the company with, they're of the feeling that Austin Aries is never welcomed back into the company. He never cared about the company. All he cared was about himself. To me, it's still a work. To me, he will eventually come back, and all will be well. And hopefully it will bring buzz and momentum and excitement to the company when he does come back. That's what I'm expecting. But let's get on to the second part of this video. Reports are coming up about how Impact Wrestling want Alberto El Patron back with the company. They want to hire him back, which would explain Austin Aries leaving. Now Impact wants to bring a top star back into the fold, into the company. This being Alberto El Patron. Now, I am a firm believer of second chances. I believe every man, woman, person, everyone deserves a second shot, because people make mistakes. That's life. You make mistakes, you learn, hopefully you learn from them, you don't make them again, and you become a better person. That's life. So I believe in second chances. And I know Alberto El Patron can damn well go in that ring. He is a great performer. He is a great wrestler. So on that part alone, he is an upside for the company. And also on the name value, not so much as a few years ago, but yes, people recognize the Alberto El Patron name. As far as how he left the company, he no-showed the company. He no-showed an event. And he was fired, justifiably fired, because you can't do that. And Impact Wrestling is a new company. They have to make wrestlers respect not only the company itself, but everybody working in it. This is not the old TNA regime that we had a few years ago. This is a new regime, new business environment for Impact. So on that matter, I find it very hard that the Impact locker room would welcome Alberto El Patron back with open arms. Because he not only disrespected the company, he not only disrespected the fans, he disrespected every single performer out there in the Impact locker room, who are all counting on the main event delivering, because the main event is the most important part of the show. The main event usually makes or breaks a pay-per-view, or any show for that matter. If I had to choose between Alberto El Patron and Austin Aries, I'd go with Austin Aries, because he is just as good as a performer as Alberto El Patron is, but he is even better on that mic. Austin Aries can spit some words even better than most people in the wrestling world today. And if Alberto El Patron's promo from last year's Bound for Glory in 2017 proves anything to us, is that he's not that good at promos. He's good, but not that good. So I believe the upside was always with Austin Aries, but now these reports of Alberto El Patron coming back, I think it would be a good second chance for him. He would have to earn a lot of respect from everyone involved. But I would 50-50 be okay with him returning. Obviously, pending on how he comes back and how his attitude is and how he performs in the show. You know, business-wise, and how he gets along with Don Callis and Scott D'Amore and all of the entire Impact talent. And back to the work part of this whole entire thing, I think Alberto El Patron, and this is just my belief, I haven't heard this from anyone, this is just my belief. I believe that this whole Alberto El Patron is wanted back in Impact Wrestling. This whole report, this whole rumor, is just another part of the work. They just want, at least for me, they just want to make this even more real for Impact fans. They just want to make the fact that Austin Aries really is gone from the company, and now we have to bring in another top name into the company. And, you know, Alberto El Patron is one of those names out there, one of the few names out there with the name recognition mainstream-wise. So we're going to have to bring him in. I think it's all a work. I think Impact management is trying to work the entire Impact fan base and the entire wrestling fan base, for that matter, that we're going to get this problematic human being in Alberto El Patron back into the company. So, all in all, I think this entire thing is a work. In the next few weeks, in the next few months, it might even take a year, we might never know. You know, we might never find out if this was truly a work, or if this is something that's actually real. These are just my beliefs on this entire segment. On this entire situation revolving around Impact Wrestling. One thing I am happy about is that this entire controversy about Austin Aries walking out of the company and Alberto El Patron being rumored to being sought after by Impact officials, one thing that makes me happy about all of this is that the focus and the attention is now back on Impact Wrestling. They are getting people talking about the company and talking about the product, which is always a positive. So those are my thoughts on this entire situation. What do you think? Are you fine with Austin Aries exiting the company? Are you okay with them, with the rumored interest of Impact officials on bringing back Alberto El Patron? Leave your thoughts and comments on the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, because this is a very interesting situation, to say the least. So leave your comments on the comment section down below. If you follow wrestling news, topics, discussion, previews, all that kind of good stuff, consider subscribing. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you dislike this video, hit the dislike button. That's it for me. Till next time.